Every single morning you wake up, you have a choice to rise with purpose or to roll over and let life happen to you. The truth is, change doesn't happen in one big moment. It happens in the small, quiet decisions you make every day. When you choose gratitude before complaint, faith before fear, and discipline before comfort, your life begins to shift in ways you can't even imagine. I've seen people pray for blessings they weren't prepared to handle. But hear me, preparation is the blessing. The waiting, the working, the struggle, that's where your strength is built. Because God doesn't give you what you ask for, He gives you what you can handle. You will fall, you will fail, you will have nights where you question why you even started. But those moments are sacred because that's where the old version of you dies and the stronger version is born. Stop chasing applause. Stop chasing validation. Chase purpose. When you live with purpose, even your pain starts to make sense. The people who walked away, the jobs you didn't get, the doors that closed, they weren't rejections, they were redirects. Every morning say, I am grateful, I am capable, I am becoming, and then do the work quietly, consistently, relentlessly. Don't wait for motivation. Build discipline, because motivation fades, but discipline stays when no one is watching. And one day, one ordinary, beautiful day, you'll wake up and realize that your life has changed. Not because of luck, not because of chance, but because you decided to show up for yourself every single day. So when you watch this, don't just hear it, feel it, live it, be it. Your story is not over. It's just beginning the faith. Keep moving. And remember, the best view always comes after the hardest climb. Gratitude is the foundation of abundance, and it is the single most powerful force that can transform your life from ordinary to extraordinary. When you wake up each morning, before your feet even touch the floor, take a deep breath and whisper a simple thank you. It may seem small, but that moment shifts everything. Gratitude turns your focus from what's missing to what's already present. It opens your heart and aligns your energy with possibility. Too often, people chase happiness as if it's something waiting at the end of success, but the truth is, happiness begins with appreciation. When you appreciate what you have, even the smallest things begin to multiply. There are people who start their days counting problems, and there are people who start their days counting blessings. The first group feels drained before the day even begins, but the second group, no matter how little they have, walks with a quiet power. Gratitude is not about pretending that everything is perfect. It's about seeing light even when things aren't. It's acknowledging the struggle and still choosing to see the gift hidden inside it. When you practice gratitude daily, your mind rewires itself to find good in everything. You stop reacting to life and start responding with grace. Imagine this. You wake up tired, worried about bills, deadlines, or challenges ahead. Your instinct might be to complain or stress. But what if instead you took a moment to list 3 things you're grateful for? It could be as simple as the roof over your head, the food on your table, or the fact that you have another chance to make today better than yesterday. In that moment, your energy shifts from scarcity to abundance. You start to realize how blessed you already are, and that awareness becomes the seed of more blessings. Gratitude doesn't ignore reality, it transforms your perception of it. There is a law of life that many people overlook. Whatever you focus on expands. If you focus on lack, you attract more lack. If you focus on blessings, you attract more reasons to be blessed. Gratitude teaches you to see what's right, even when everything feels wrong. It teaches humility, patience, and trust. It softens your heart when the world feels harsh. It reminds you that even in dark moments, there is still something to be thankful for, a lesson, a breath, a sunrise, a chance to try again. Gratitude is also an anchor during storms. When life feels heavy and uncertain, it keeps you grounded. It whispers, You've been through worse, you've survived before, and you will again. Sometimes gratitude isn't loud or joyful. Sometimes it's a quiet strength, a small voice that says, I'm still here, and that is enough, because gratitude doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It blooms wherever you plant it. Start making gratitude a habit, not a reaction. Write it down, speak it aloud, live it. Tell the people you love that you appreciate them. Say thank you for the simple things, the morning coffee, the kind word, the opportunity to begin again. The more you give thanks, the more reasons life will give you to be thankful. Gratitude turns obstacles into lessons, strangers into teachers, and moments into miracles. It is not just a feeling, it's a lifestyle. And when you choose to live in gratitude, you attract peace, purpose, and prosperity without even chasing them. So begin today before you scroll your phone, before you rush into your routine, pause and give thanks. Feel it deeply. Let that energy lead your day. Gratitude is not the end of abundance. It's the beginning. And once you master it, you will never live the same again. Faith over fear, that is the choice that separates those who dream from those who live their dreams. Every great life, every powerful transformation begins with faith. Faith is not about having all the answers. It's about trusting that even when you don't see the whole path, the next step will appear when it's time. Fear screams, what if I fail? Faith whispers, what if you fly? Fear will always try to keep you safe, but faith will push you toward your destiny. And the truth is, you cannot live a life of meaning and greatness if you allow fear to make your decisions for you. There will always be moments when the unknown feels terrifying. You will question your abilities, your worth, and even your purpose. But it's in those very moments that faith must rise. Faith doesn't erase fear. It teaches you to walk through it. It's like stepping out into the darkness, believing that something solid will catch you. When you choose faith, you stop needing proof and start believing in possibilities. You stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start declaring, even if it doesn't, I'll grow through it. Faith is the foundation of every miracle you will ever experience. It turns the invisible into reality. It's what allows you to keep moving when logic tells you to give up. Faith, you that setbacks are setups, that closed doors are divine redirections. That delay is not denial. Sometimes the reason you haven't seen your breakthrough yet is because you're being prepared for it. The waiting season is not wasted. It's the training ground where your patience, strength, and resilience are built. Fear wants you to quit. Faith wants you to prepare. When fear takes over, it paralyzes you. It keeps you stuck in comfort zones that slowly suffocate your potential. Fear will tell you, stay where it's safe. But faith whispers, there's more waiting for you if you step forward. Every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary had to make a choice to trust what they couldn't see. They had to believe in something bigger than the doubt screaming in their minds. And that's what you must do too. Sometimes faith will mean walking alone. People may not understand your vision. They may doubt your dreams or question your path. That's okay. Your calling wasn't given to them. It was given to you. Faith is personal. It's between you and the purpose that lives inside you. When you feel afraid, remind yourself that fear is temporary, but regret lasts a lifetime. You don't want to look back one day and realize that you let fear steal the life you were meant to live. Faith is not only about believing in something higher, it's also about believing in yourself. You are capable, you are chosen, and you are enough. The same power that created mountains, oceans, and stars lives inside you. That means you already have everything you need to take the next step. When you trust that, your fear begins to shrink. Every time you act in faith, you weaken fear's hold over your life. Faith is the fuel of courage. It doesn't mean you won't feel afraid. It means you won't let fear control you. Fear sees obstacles. Faith sees opportunity. Fear says, you're not ready. Faith says, Start anyway. Fear waits for certainty. Faith moves with conviction. And once you start walking by faith, something miraculous happens. Doors begin to open, people appear to help you, and life begins to align in ways you never imagined. So choose faith, even when you're scared, even when it's hard, even when the road looks uncertain. Choose to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Because when you live by faith, you stop chasing what's next and start embracing what's now. Fear limits you, but faith frees you. And the moment you choose faith over fear, your life will never be the same again. Discipline builds destiny. It is the quiet force that shapes greatness when no one is watching. Motivation can start you, but only discipline keeps you going. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the excitement fades. Every dream, no matter how beautiful, remains only a dream until discipline brings it to life. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect. It is the commitment to show up for yourself even when you don't feel like it. There will be days when you are tired, when nothing seems to work, and when giving up feels easier than trying again. In those moments, discipline becomes your strength. It reminds you why you started. It pushes you to take one more step, to do one more task, to keep moving forward even when progress feels invisible. The truth is, you don't build discipline overnight. You build it one choice at a time, one decision after another, by doing what's right instead of what's easy. Discipline is the difference between those who wish for success and those who create it. Successful people are not more talented. They are more consistent. They wake up early. They keep promises to themselves, and they repeat small actions every single day until those actions become habits, and those habits become a lifestyle. Discipline doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for persistence. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing what matters most again and again until results come. When you are disciplined, you learn to delay gratification. You learn to say no to distractions, to stay focused on your goals, and to trust the process. It's easy to chase comfort, but comfort is the enemy of growth. Discipline teaches you to be uncomfortable for a purpose. It reminds you that pain is temporary, but pride in your progress lasts forever. Every workout you complete, every page you write, every plan you follow is a brick laid in the foundation of your destiny. Discipline also teaches self-control. It gives you the power to master your emotions instead of being ruled by them. There will be days when fear, laziness, or doubt whisper in your ear, telling you to stop. But discipline helps you silence those voices. It says, I don't need to feel ready. I just need to begin. It transforms uncertainty into confidence. Be confident as every act of discipline builds trust in yourself. And that trust becomes unshackable strength. People often wait for the right time to begin. They want inspiration, support, or a perfect plan. But the truth is, there is no perfect time. There is only now. Discipline doesn't wait for conditions to be ideal. It creates progress out of imperfection. Every step forward, no matter how small, is proof that you're stronger than your excuses. And when you stack those steps day after day, week after week, you build momentum, and momentum builds miracles. Discipline is freedom. It frees you from regret, from chaos, and from living below your potential. It gives you control over your life because you stop depending on feelings and start relying on commitment. It is the bridge between your goals and your achievements. Without it, dreams fade. With it, anything is possible. So wake up each day and commit to yourself. Set your priorities and honor them. Do what needs to be done even when no one is watching. Discipline is not glamorous, but it's powerful. It's the unseen work that creates seen success. It's the repetition that creates mastery, the patience that builds legacy, and the consistency that shapes destiny. When you live with discipline, you no longer need to chase success. It finds you because destiny always follows discipline. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of it. Every person who has ever achieved something remarkable has failed more times than most people have even tried. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not luck or talent. It's the willingness to keep standing up after every fall. Failure is not a sign that you are weak or unworthy. It is proof that you are trying, that you are moving, that you are alive. It is a teacher, not a punishment. It shows you what doesn't work so that you can discover what does. We live in a world that fears failure, that hides mistakes, that celebrates perfection while forgetting that perfection is an illusion. But the truth is, failure is where real growth begins. It humbles you, it refines you, and it teaches you lessons that comfort never could. When everything goes right, you celebrate. But when everything goes wrong, you learn. And those lessons, those scars, those moments when you thought you couldn't go on but did anyway, are the very moments that shape your strength. Every failure carries a hidden message if you are willing to listen. Sometimes it tells you to try again with more patience. Sometimes it tells you to change direction. And sometimes it tells you that what you thought you wanted isn't truly meant for you. The beauty of failure is that it strips away what's unnecessary. It makes you face yourself honestly. It asks, how bad do you really want this? Because if your dream is strong enough, failure won't destroy you. It will define you. Think about the greatest inventors, artists, and leaders in history. Every one of them failed repeatedly before finding success. They didn't avoid failure, they used it. They learned, adjusted, and grew stronger. Thomas Edison once said he didn't fail 1,000 times. He just found 1,000 ways that didn't work. That's the mindset that transforms failure into fuel. When you stop fearing mistakes, you open yourself to possibility. Failure also teaches resilience, the ability to rise again no matter how hard you fall. Resilience is not built in moments of comfort, it's built in moments of pain. Every disappointment, every rejection, every closed door builds emotional muscle. You learn to keep going, not because it's easy, but because you know that giving up guarantees you'll never reach your destination. Failure makes you hungry, it gives you perspective, and it deepens your gratitude for success when it finally comes. There will be times when failure feels unbearable, when it breaks your heart or crushes your confidence. In those moments, remember that endings often hide beginnings. What feels like the end of your path may actually be a redirection towards something better. Life has a way of closing doors that no longer serve you, even if you don't understand it yet. Trust that every setback is setting you up for something greater. Failure also removes the illusion of control. It reminds you that no matter how hard you plan, life has its own rhythm. But instead of seeing that as defeat, see it as grace. Because when you release control, you make room for growth. You begin to see failure not as loss, but as redirection, not as punishment, but as preparation. So don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of never trying. Be afraid of letting fear of failure keep you stuck in the same place. Every mistake you make brings you closer to mastery. Every stumble teaches you balance. Every fall builds your wings. The path to success is not a straight line. It's a series of climbs, falls, and rises. And each time you rise, you become stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable. Failure does not define you. What defines you is the courage to begin again. Use your pain as fuel, because pain is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to awaken you. Every person on this earth has felt pain in one form or another, and while some let it break them, others let it build them. Pain is life's greatest teacher. It shows you what truly matters, it reveals your strength, and it forces you to grow in ways comfort never could. When everything feels heavy, when your heart aches, and when your soul feels tired, that is not the end of your story. That is the moment your transformation begins. There is a kind of wisdom that only pain can give. It teaches you compassion because you begin to understand what others feel. It teaches you patience because healing takes time. It teaches you humility because pain reminds you that no one is above struggle. Pain strips away illusions. It takes you to your knees, and in that silence, you find your truth. You begin to discover that you are far more powerful than you ever believed. Every scar, every tear, every sleepless night becomes a symbol of survival. Using your pain as fuel means refusing to let it define you negatively. It means turning hurt into hunger, grief into growth, and fear into fire. There will be moments when you want to give up, when everything in you says you can't go on, but that's when you must dig deeper. Pain can paralyze you, but it can also propel you. It all depends on how you choose to see it. The same fire that burns can also forge gold, and you too are being forged. You are becoming something stronger, something wiser, something unbreakable. Think of pain as the weight you lift in the gym of life. The resistance you feel is not there to punish you, it's there to build you. Without resistance, there is no growth. Without pain, there is no strength. The people who achieve greatness are not those who never suffer, but those who learn to rise through suffering. They channel their pain into purpose. They use it to create, to inspire, to help others heal. They understand that pain is not a barrier, but a bridge that connects who you were to who you are becoming. Sometimes pain doesn't make sense right away. It can feel cruel, unfair, and unbearable. But one day, you will look back and realize that it was shaping you. The heartbreak taught you self-worth. The loss taught you gratitude. The rejection taught you direction. Every painful chapter was preparing you for a greater story. You wouldn't be who you are without what you've survived. Pain gives depth to your soul. It awakens empathy, wisdom, and courage that comfort never could. There is power in refusing to stay broken. There is power in choosing to stand back up, to try again, to smile through tears, and to believe that better days are coming. When you turn pain into purpose, you become unstoppable. You start to understand that life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Every trial refines you. Everyone reminds you that you are still alive, still capable of feeling, still capable of fighting. So when pain visits you, welcome it as a teacher. Ask it what it has come to show you. Let it guide you toward your strength, not your sorrow. Let it remind you that even the darkest nights, there is still light within you. Because the truth is, the fire that tried to burn, you can also be the fire that lights your way forward. Pain is not the end. It is the beginning of a new kind of power. Use it, rise from it, and let it fuel the life you were meant to live. Surround yourself with purpose, not noise, because the people and environments you allow into your life shape who you become. The truth is, energy is contagious. Every conversation, every connection, every space you enter either feeds your growth or drains your spirit. Many people fail not because they lack talent, but because they stay surrounded by noise, by distraction, negativity, gossip, and fear disguised as advice. To live with purpose, you must learn to protect your peace and be intentional about what and who you allow into your circle. Noise comes in many forms, not just loud voices or chaos. Sometimes it's the subtle doubt out of others, the endless scrolling on your phone, the constant comparison, or the small distractions that pull you away from what truly matters. Noise numbs your clarity. It keeps you busy but not productive, connected but not fulfilled. It tricks you into thinking you're moving when you're only spinning in circles. Purpose, on the other hand, is quiet, steady, and powerful. It doesn't need validation, it needs focus. When you surround yourself with purpose, you start to see life differently. You stop chasing attention and start building intention. The people around you are mirrors of your own energy. If you spend your time with levers and doors, you begin to dream bigger, believe stronger, and act bolder. But if you surround yourself with complainers, critics, and quitters, you begin to shrink to fit their comfort. Protecting your energy doesn't make you arrogant, it makes you aware. You cannot rise if you are constantly carrying people who refuse to grow. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is distance yourself from anything or anyone that keeps you from becoming who you are meant to be. Surrounding yourself with purpose also means creating environments that support your growth. It means keeping your space clean, your mind clear, and your goals visible. It means filling your time with activities that align with your values. Read books that feed your mind, listen to voices that lift your spirit, and engage in habits that move you closer to your vision. Life is too short to live distracted. Every minute spent on noise is a minute stolen from purpose. You have to learn to recognize the difference between people who clap for your success and those who only tolerate it. True friends, mentors, and partners will push you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. They won't always tell you what you want to hear, but they'll always tell you what you need to hear. Their presence gives you strength instead of stress. Choose those people. Keep them close, because in the journey toward your destiny, the right company can accelerate your growth and the wrong company completely derail it. Purpose-driven living also requires solitude. Sometimes you must step away from everyone to reconnect with yourself. Silence is not emptiness. It's space for clarity. It's where you hear your own thoughts, your own dreams, and the whisper of your higher calling. When you spend time alone with your purpose, you begin to realize how much of your energy you've wasted trying to fit into places that were never meant for you. Noise will always exist in the world, in your mind, in the opinions of others. But you don't have to let it control you. You can choose peace over pressure, clarity over confusion, and focus over distraction. Surrounding yourself with purpose means saying no to what doesn't serve you and saying yes to what makes your soul come alive. So take a moment today and look around. Who are you listening to? What are you consuming? Where are you spending your time? If it doesn't align with your goals, your peace, and your growth, it's time to let it go. You deserve to be surrounded by light, by truth, by people and passions that remind you why you started. Because when you fill your life with purpose, the noise begins to fade and the path before you becomes clear. Legacy over popularity, that is the choice that defines a meaningful life. Popularity fades, but legacy lasts. In a world where everyone wants to be seen, heard, and followed, few stop to ask, what will remain after I am gone? The truth is, fame is temporary, but impact is eternal. You can be known by millions and still forgotten in a moment, but if you live with purpose, if you serve others, if you love deeply and give selflessly, your legacy will live long after your name is no longer spoken. Legacy is not built in a day. It's built every day through your actions, your words, and your character. So many people chase likes, followers, and applause, but those things are hollow without substance behind them. Popularity feeds your ego, but legacy feeds your soul. The world may celebrate noise, but history remembers meaning. You don't have to be rich, famous, or powerful to leave a legacy. You just have to care to show up to make someone's life better, even in small ways. A kind word, a helping hand, a moment of courage. These are the seeds of legacy. The way you make people feel becomes the memory they carry long after you're gone. Living for legacy means living beyond yourself. It means asking not, can I get, but what can I give? It's about planting trees under whose shade you may never sit. It's about using your time, your talents, and your trials to create something that outlives you. True success is not measured by how much you accumulate, but by how much you contribute. The wealth of a meaningful life is found not in possessions, but in purpose. To build a legacy, you must first know who you are and what you stand for. You must live with integrity even when no one is watching. You must choose to do what's right over what's easy. Your reputation is what people say about you, but your character is who you truly are, and legacy is the reflection of that character over time. Every choice you make leaves a mark. Every word you speak shapes the way people remember you. When you act from love, truth, and service, you create ripples that extend far beyond your lifetime. There will be moments when you feel unseen, when your efforts go unnoticed. Don't let that discourage you. Legacy is not built in applause, it's built in consistency. It's built in quiet moments when you choose to do good even when no one is watching. Every act of kindness, every time you rise after failure, every time you encourage someone else to believe in themselves, you are building something that cannot be erased. Living for popularity will drain you because you will always need to perform, to please, to prove. But living for legacy will fulfill you because you are living from purpose, not pressure. You no longer chase attention, you attract respect. You stop competing with others and start collaborating for something greater. When you live this way, your presence becomes light for others, your story becomes inspiration, and your journey becomes a guide for those who come after you. Legacy is not about being remembered for doing something big. It's about being remembered for doing something good. It's about how you treat people, how you love, how you forgive, and how you uplift. It's about leaving the world a little better than you found it. You don't have to change the whole world. You just have to change one person's world, and that too is enough. So live every day with legacy in mind. Speak with kindness, act with purpose, love without fear, and give without expecting, because popularity fades with time, but legacy grows with it. Long after the applause stops and the spotlight moves on, your impact will remain in the hearts of those you've touched. That is how greatness is remembered, not by how loud you were, but by how deeply you lived. In the end, everything we've talked about, gratitude, faith, discipline, failure, pain, purpose, and legacy comes down to one simple truth. Your life is shaped by the choices you make every single day. You are not defined by where you started, by what you've lost, or by how many times you've fallen. You are defined by your willingness to rise, to believe, to keep moving forward, even when the road is unclear. Real change doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from deciding that this moment is enough. Every sunrise is an invitation to begin again. Choose gratitude for what you have, faith for what's ahead, discipline for what must be done, courage to face failure, strength to turn pain into purpose, wisdom to silence the noise, and vision to build a legacy that outlives you. Don't chase success for the applause of the crowd. Chase fulfillment for the peace of your soul. Because in the end, no one will remember how many followers you had or how much money you made, but they will remember how you made them feel, how you lived, and what you stood for. So wake up each day knowing that you hold the power to shape your destiny. Walk with gratitude in your heart, faith in your steps, and purpose in your soul. Let your failures refine you, let your pain strengthen you, and let your life become a message of resilience, courage, and love. You are not here to simply exist. You are here to make an impact. Live boldly, give deeply, and leave something behind that time cannot erase. Because when you live this way, you don't just change your own life, you change the world around you.